PJ Walker, professional athlete. When the world was on fire in 2020, I got closer with my fiance, got closer with my family, and I grinded my way all the way to the top.
So thank you everyone for tuning in once again to Road to Recovery. I know we took a little bit of a hiatus, but we're finally back. But we have a wonderful guest today with PJ Walker, who is a professional athlete who currently plays for the Carolina Panthers. Am I correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm excited to talk to him today because one has a powerful story, has done a lot of phenomenal things in the community, but also within just the trajectory and the influence he has had on football players within the entire world. Has a phenomenal following. But we're going to tap into exactly what he just spoke on. He said during a year when the world was on fire, he got close with his fiance, his family, and rose to the top. So let's talk about the most important part to me is the fact that you brought up family and your fiance. So what was
Yeah.
that like in terms of getting closer with your family and fiance?
So like for the most part, I've been with Ashley since college. You know what I'm saying? And it was always ball. It was always school. All those two things was always there. You know. But then once I got to the league in 2017, it was more so I'm away from her for a couple months because I'm playing ball for 6, 7 months, and then I go back to the city with her for the next 3 or 4 months. So that right there was always a difficult time for us because it was like I'm leaving her, I'm getting separated from her. Same with my family. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't around them all the time, and I wasn't able to see them. But being on FaceTime ain't the same as seeing them in person. And I
Exactly.
always take that for we all take that for granted, thinking that FaceTime is gone, heal all pain that's going on at home, but it really ain't. You know what I'm
No,
saying? We
making
like
shit worse.
they want to be physically seen. Like they want to be seen and they want to be hugged sometimes. They want to be cared for. So for me to be around Ashley, and I would say in 2020, after the XFL had folded, we was together from March all the way up until December, which is now, like not even December, which is now. You know what I'm saying? Because I ended up signing with the Carolina Panthers. She was living out here already, so it
Right.
all worked out in a way. And just me being around a lot more just helped me see things. It helped me see things more with my relationship and what I needed to work on. With I could also help her work on, and it made us stronger at the end of the day.
Nah, it makes perfect sense. And like you said so many things right there that I want to kind of unfold and get a better understanding of in terms
Yeah,
of so the first thing you said was XFL had folded. Um, we're not going to just skip past that because you lit the
yeah,
XFL up like undefeated and turn and like the way you conducted yourself and the way that everything happened unfolded, it was a blessing, but also something that anyone who knew who PJ Walker is that like he's always been a star. So in terms of the XFL, walk us through that experience exactly. Tell us more about that journey.
yeah. The XFL is different, man, because I went into it with like a mindset of I have to go out here and just show everybody that I can play ball. You know what I'm saying? Like I just have to go back out there and show everybody that because I was in Indy for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Going on three, and
Right.
I was on practice squad the first two, and I just really wanted to go out there and get a chance to go play, compete, just play against somebody. And being on practice squad ain't the same as
Yeah.
like going out there and playing in games. You know what I'm saying? So when I got out there, man, I was just like, look, I'm gonna take advantage of this opportunity. And when I go out here, I'm gonna make sure I ball out. Like I wasn't gonna take nothing for granted. Gonna leave nothing. I was gonna leave everything on the field. And after that first week, man, I was just like, man, this thing gonna take off for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I know now, I really was out there doing well when I was in Indy on practice, and I was just getting better, seeing different things, seeing different defenses, and just getting to know myself as a player. And when you get to
Right.
know yourself as a player, then you get to just really play, and
Yeah.
that's what I felt like I was doing in the XFL. I knew myself as a player, and I was just like, man, it's time for me to just go ahead and show everybody what I'm capable of. And week in and week out, bro, I was just putting up the numbers that needed to get put up for us to get wins. And that was the main thing for me. Like I really wanted to win, and because that's the background you want as a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? If you can show these guys you can win football games, you can control football games. That's what continues your career as a professional. I think just
Got you.
winning games and being somebody that can actually win games and coaches could depend on.
Got you. That makes sense. So being someone that everyone can depend on, but also I'm thinking about what you said, like you knew yourself as a player. So in
Yeah.
terms of knowing yourself as a player, knowing yourself as a fiance, knowing yourself as a friend, how did you kind of get to that point? Like, because it takes some tough conversations to know yourself, because that means you have to know your weaknesses and your strengths. So, like, what was that battle like in terms of the film room and knowing yourself as a football player, but also battling knowing yourself as a fiance? I know there's probably some like challenges in that as well.
Absolutely. So like knowing myself as a football player, it was more so I needed to know what I was doing wrong on the football field. And I knew it was just small things that I needed to critique. I felt like I never played my best football when I was in college, you know what I'm saying? And I might have played in my freshman year, but I never really excelled after that. Like I never really played my best ball after that. Like, I played good in games, but I knew my ceiling, my peak was a lot higher. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew I wasn't going out there and playing my best. I just knew I wasn't. And that's what I wanted to go out there and prove when I was in the XFL. Like I'm gonna go out and play my best football. And in order for me to play my best football, I gotta know what everybody around me is doing. I gotta know what I gotta do. And I didn't feel like I knew that in college at the time, you know what I'm saying? Not just because I was still young, but I also seen other guys like know what this guy needed to do. No, like I went in there and played at 18, bro. So like at that point, I'm thinking that was what I knew. Like that's all I needed to know. You know what I'm saying? Like you go out there, play your game, have fun. But when you really sit down and you watch other professionals go out there and break down, this is why he's doing this. This is why he's doing this. This is why he's got to be here. Now you start to see yourself like I need to know that he's got to be here for this. I need to make sure that they in line. So and that's what I did in the XFL. I figured it out, bro. And I was like, all right, now that I can figure it out, I can help somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like I can help the guys around me. I can get the guys around me to play better as well. You know what I'm saying? That was my main thing, helping everybody around me play better. Because we all get an opportunity to go out there and play the game, but it's you just somebody out there that's doing your own thing and making yourself better week in and week out. But as a quarterback, you want to make everybody around you better. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was the mindset. Like, if a guy miss a block, I gotta be able to make him look good and make him miss that tackle, and also find a way to get that ball off or get positive yards. So just that confidence level for my offensive lineman or my receiver or something like that, anything would not drop. You know what I'm saying? That was the same thing for myself. Like, I always just want to keep my confidence high, especially playing at this position. Like, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to throw interceptions. You're going to do everything that happens in the game. You know what I'm saying? But in order to succeed, you got to have those mistakes. And that's how I feel. You got to have those mistakes. And you learn from them. And that's what I did. I learned from them. I learned all the stuff that I did in the XFL. I was like, man, I could really, like, take my game to the next level if I just know what everybody got to do. But now it just makes me know what I got to do even more. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I'm studying their game. If I'm studying their job as hard as I'm studying my job, everything around me gonna be easy. That's how I approach it every week.
Definitely. So you just said so much there right now. I think that it's like powerful, especially the fact that you said you felt like in college you never reached your peak or played to the potential you should have played at after your freshman year. So we were on the same team freshman year, and we went 2-11, or I guess after the Notre Dame thing, so it went 3-9. But but in terms of that, we won a championship. So you won a championship in a very competitive league, playing not your best ball. So that right there says a lot about exactly who the player that PJ Walker is. But also, I'm thinking about in terms of everything you just said, in terms of things, in terms of like what people can kind of pick out and learn from. Throughout that time, you've been with the same person, and that's the person who now is your fiance. So how has all those lessons and all those trials and adversity made you a better partner throughout life? Because if in football you're making people look better when they're at their worst or when they make mistakes, how has that made you kind of have empathy and have compassion and understanding for your partner?
It's crazy, bro, because one thing that we always like, us being male dominant and us being somebody who feel like we always got an answer for everything, we don't, you know what I'm saying? And one thing I finally started to do as I got older was starting to listen, you know what I'm saying? Like listening to what she wants, listening to what she needs, and listening to what she's feeling is more important than me just sitting there doing other shit, you know what I'm saying? Like nothing's more important than listening to what she has to say, you know what I'm saying? And as a kid, we sit there and we listen to our parents say stuff, but are we really listening? You know what I'm saying? And that was the reason why we always got in trouble. Like we ain't really listen. We heard it, but we ain't listened to it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a difference between hearing something and listening. Like in my
Yeah.
opinion, like if you listening, you paying attention, you're focused on what they're saying. And I had to figure that out, you know what I'm saying, at some point. And I was with her since my freshman year of college, and now that we at this point now, took me 2-3 years ago for me to finally start listening to what she's saying, you know, and to understand her.
Right.
And now that I started to listen, everything started to grow, everything started to get better in our relationship, and that shit, it helps, bro. It definitely helps.
What you just said right there is so powerful in terms of once I finally started listening, like everything started working, or it helped.
Yeah.
In terms of that relationship, because in terms of for you to listen to her, in terms for you to actually understand where she's coming from and feel like it has certain validity to it, that means you have a certain level of trust for her. So in terms of that level of trust, what kind of built that? For anyone who may be young, old, middle-aged, whatever, like that's something that everyone wants to understand and wants to know, like what made you trust that individual to a point where like they have that level of influence over your life and decisions you make?
I mean, at the end of the day, I think she's one of the smartest people that I've ever met, that I've ever came across, you know what I'm saying? So when I could sit there and she's been through hell and back with me, you know what I'm saying? Been through everything that I've put her through, everything that we've been through as a couple, in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? So it's been so much shit that we've gone through that just builds that trust. And not a lot of people are gonna sit there and deal with it, you know what I'm saying? Like being away from somebody for 7 months ain't easy, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit's not easy. And for her to just stick around, stick with me and make sure that I'm good, make sure that when I'm going through shit, that she's always there. That right there, bro, that right there was everything I needed. You know what I'm saying? That was the trust that I saw from her, that she trusted me, she believed in me, and she's also my one of my biggest supporters. I got my mother and it's her, you know what I'm saying? Like those two right there is always pushing me to be something that I really want to be, you know what I'm saying? They never bringing me down. They never saying I can't do nothing, you know what I'm saying? When you get that factor right there, they in your corner, and you want those people in your corner to tell you, like, look, man, don't worry about what's going on. She making sure I study at night. That's a lot of people ain't making sure you're gonna go study at night. You know what I'm saying? People ain't making sure you gonna. She see me write down these plays every day. She like, did you write down your stuff today? If on the days that I don't do it, do you write down your stuff? I'm like, so you should be doing that because that's what you usually do. Holding me accountable, and that's something that a lot of people in their relationships they lack. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys don't be getting held accountable for in their relationships, and that's what she do every day, bro. She making sure I'm good. She making sure I'm held accountable to the standard that she know I'm capable of.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing, and there's so many things about that I want to tap into, but I think you said it so eloquently that it don't even need to be pushed any further. But one thing I do want to touch on is the idea of that. You said that you and her were apart and that this was still consistent. So in terms of the communication level, because there may be people who may be maybe in high school, maybe in college, and them and their partner may go to different high schools, maybe in different states. What was something that always stayed consistent throughout that entire process that made sure that you guys always felt connected?
I want to say the back and forth conversations. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say they talk to their significant other. A lot of people say they have a lot of conversations and things like that. But if you we far from each other, but we stayed on FaceTime. You know what I'm saying? We stayed in communication. We stayed talking, and I used to always make sure she come visit me somehow, some way, you know, during those times, you know what I'm saying? So we was always seeing each other if it had to be a weekend, it was a weekend, you know what I'm saying? If it was the bye week, I gotta go straight to North Carolina. That's what it gotta be. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure this stays strong at the end of the day. And in order for it to stay, you gotta work for it to stay strong as well. I think you gotta make sure you being the right man that you could be. You also have to be smart about every decision that you make, you know what I'm saying? Not just in your relationship, but out of your relationship as well. You just got to be smart. You just got to really be somebody that's willing to understand what's going on and what you have back at home as well. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of guys take it for granted. And end up biting you on the ass at the end of the day. So for me, it was just knowing what I got at home and never want to disappoint her, never want to have that argument of is this relationship worth it or never. Like that never came across my mind. That even though I'm 3 years away from her, that never crossed my mind. Is this relationship worth it? Like I always knew it was gonna be worth it. You know what I'm saying? Even in college, I would never took that next step of being away from her to go to the league and all that if I didn't think it was worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that's a big step, bro. Like really a big step, and something that somebody really has to trust you to even take that next step to be there for you. And she was there, and that's the reason why she got that ring on her finger now. Because I made that decision to be like, look, she was there for me. She's gonna always be there for me. Even since I was in college, she was always there for me. So I'm gonna just continue that, and I'm gonna continue to grow with her.
That's super dope. And like one of the songs on my album is like, "Are you really worth my peace?" And that what you just said right there is the definition of like that track. But powerful, like it takes a real man to like be able to understand that and like to have that before you can even like be able to explain that or put that in a way where it's understandable. You had to have that conversation with yourself. So it already shows me that from an intellectual standpoint that you already have the tough conversations that need to be had. So now I want to transition to that last piece of what you said before. You said in terms of 2020 when the world was on fire, you rose to the top. So you talked about how you got closer with your family, you got closer with your fiance, and I hope people understand that in terms of life, to get to a point of like marriage and a true partnership and a union, like it's hard work. Like people think that once you get in love, that's it. Nah, that's when the work begins, because you gotta be able to improve.
Everything's gonna be pulling you away from that. Everything pulls you away from it, bro.
Especially as a QB in the NFL.
Everything pulls you away from it, and it's all about what you really want to do. Like, not tell that to a lot of people. You really have to be with somebody to understand. Like, you really have to admire that person to understand. Like, it's nothing out there that's really more important than that one person that you're with, bro. Like, it's nothing out there more important than that one person that's stuck by your side, that was always there for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. And it's tough, but when you find that one person, you fucking go through hell and high water through that for that shit. So, and that's what I've been through. I've been through hell. I've been through hot water, all type of shit, just to make sure my relationship is still standing strong today.
Yeah, and bro, that shit speaks to the soul. Oh, I can't be cursing. Mm-hmm. That what you just said speaks to the soul. Like, bro,
for real.
So I appreciate you even breaking that up and saying that. But now I definitely want to transition to the part where you said I rose to the top. Because I feel like that everything you just said was phenomenal and impactful and like powerful. But you actually rose to the top in so many ways and so many times and so many occasions. From Temple to a program where when you came in as a freshman, you weren't even the starter. To when you had to leave the NFL, which is where like the epitome of everyone wants to reach to, had to leave, go to the XFL. But then you finally come back to the league and people feel like that's your first time there. Like when you get the first win as a starter, it's like, wait, I've been here. But I'm gonna leave that to you to talk about, because it was your journey. But tell us more about the time. So explain more to the people about Temple, NFL, XFL, NFL with the Panthers.
Yeah, it was different, bro. Cause we was at Temple together, so it's like the story that I'm telling wouldn't be a surprise to you, bro. Like we went in there together, and freshman year, like it was just like a whole bunch of shit going on to where Rule just threw me out there at that point. You know what I'm saying? And if it worked, it worked at that point. And I felt like I was just going out there playing. And when I felt like I could go out there and just play, bro, at 18 against guys that's 23, 21, 22, when you get that confidence in you feel me? It was guys old, bro, like old guys in the league in college. So it's just like, it's fun. Now you just realize, like, man, this is definitely going to be something I could take advantage of for the next 4 years. And for me to just sit there and be like, all right, now that I'm a freshman, I'm seeing this, but we go 2-10, so that wasn't something I really wasn't proud of because we wasn't winning. But in the back of my mind,
wait, pause before we even move forward. We went 2-10, but in terms of offense, it's like we were undefeated. If you would have saw what this man was doing, like the scoring,
felt undefeated, bro. Offense we was fucking rolling on offense. Like we was 30 points a game. We was putting up numbers. And it was fun, bro. Like that, I felt like that's what gave everybody around us that hope still. Like me going out there as a freshman, I felt like I was just able to give a lot of guys around the program a lot of hope to realize, man, we're gonna be good at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like once this shit really start clicking, we're gonna be really good. And it wasn't just me out there. I felt like it was everybody. Like Robbie was making plays, Kenny was out there doing his thing. Then Hyde just stepped in and started balling. So it was just
Dion out there dogging before he got injured.
Dion was out there as a freshman. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was doing it offensively. And defense, I knew our defense was more complex than we was making it because we had a bunch of good, talented players. They just wasn't understanding the concepts that Coach Snow wanted at the time. You know what I'm saying? So then that sophomore year hit, our defense is lights out. Like not lights out to where we doing all right in games. We shutting guys down. You know what I'm saying? Like our defense is like nationally ranked from like sophomore year on.
We go to UConn and like Tavon out here cribbing 96-yard touchdowns. Like it's like we really
easy. Like and I tell people that a lot. I tell people that now. I'll be like, bro, when we played Notre Dame, bro, that was one of the most craziest games I've been a part of in college football because it was two good teams to where we was undersized in a way, but we had a lot of fight in us, bro. We was that size. That's when I knew size didn't matter at that point. I'm like, bro, we undersized, but we got a lot of dogs. You know what I'm saying? And when you got dogs on your team, them boys gonna bark, and them boys ready to fight.
But we lost the game. But we went into the locker room saying we lost the game. Not they beat us.
Yes.
We lost the game.
We lost the game. Like, we lost the game. They ain't beat us. We lost the game. Like that's how we felt, bro. We felt like we was like one of the best teams in college football that year. And then we went out to SMU a week later. I felt like the whole team was still on that Notre Dame loss, and we almost got upset by SMU. But like I don't know, for some reason that game, I felt like I had a shit ton to prove still, bro. Especially leaving that Notre Dame game. It was just like, bro, I still got a ton to prove. And that's why I approached that SMU game the way I did. And that was one of my best games I had in my career, to be honest with you, bro. That the week after the Notre Dame game that we lost.
For anybody who wasn't a part of that.
We hung up 50 on them. You know what I'm saying? We hung up 50 on them.
For anybody who wasn't part of that, he's like downplaying it. Like, we thought we saw MJ on the field, like not on the court, on the field. Like it was, I remember specifically, I was sitting next to Gordo at the time. That was the game where Dion was hurt and I was supposed to come in. It was just like, nah, this is different. This ain't Phillip, it's PJ.
Yeah, and that's what I was feeling. Bro. I'm like, bro, I feel like if I let these boys down, they still, because I felt like everybody was still stuck on last week loss, you know, the week before loss, and everybody was still mad. We lost Notre Dame. We shouldn't have lost. But it's just like, bro, we don't got time to be pouting right now. Like, this is a new week. This is a new opportunity. Let's go out here and win this game. Because them boys thinking they could beat us now at this point. They done scored. They done went up. And we ranked 20th, I think, in the country at the moment. So it's like, bro, we cannot let up. And I was just going out there. I made sure I played my best football. Hit every return. Was trying to put the ball in the receiver's hands, tried to be as accurate as I could. If I had to run the ball, I had to run the ball. So I was trying to, and Jahad didn't play that game that much. Jahad was hurt. He had them ribs. We had them ribs from the Notre Dame game. So it was just like, man, we got to go out here. We got to find a way to win. Defense stepped up at the end of the game. Reef was balling at the end. Yeah. And Champ caught the pick at the end of the game. You know what I'm saying? So all those things that I felt like we finally put together going into the next week, because then we played South Florida.
Right.
And that's when we had that struggle there. And it was just like, man, we couldn't have went through a freaking harder 3 weeks of football ever, man. Ever. It was tough, part bro.
Is, though, in terms of that game, isn't that the game you flipped over? I don't know if it was a linebacker or a D lineman, but to score against SMU?
That was the Penn State game.
Oh yeah, you're
That was
right.
Penn
You're
State.
right.
That was Penn State senior year. That was Penn State senior year. That was Penn State senior year, bro. That game was crazy. And I felt like we should have won that game. I felt like we should have won that game at Penn State.
It's crazy because
At Penn State.
the Penn State senior year game, I don't like it was. I was there obviously, but I didn't really remember that. But the junior year game, definitely remember in terms of the 10 sacks, Hod going crazy.
Crazy. That was the start of Hod.
I feel like you didn't even sweat that game though.
Nah, that was the game. Bro, I didn't do nothing. I didn't have to. The defense went crazy. Hod was going crazy, and we was just out there. We was doing our job, and that's something that I finally started to see. Like, if we just do our job, we'll win, regardless. We got enough talent to just, if we do what we need to do as a team, we will win these games, bro. Like, and that show right there, defense put up 10 sacks that game. I was like, oh, they going crazy. Like, it's nothing else that our team needs to do right now. Like, just keep getting to we can get a ball to Penn State offense the whole game, and we just gonna continue to be back there the whole game, bro. Let's just keep doing that. Like, let's find a way to put up points, but get a ball to Penn State and let the defense go crazy. And that's what they was doing, bro.
That's something that you just said. Just do your job, and everything will work itself out. So I'm not going to just skip past Temple because Temple was a huge part of like what led into the future. But just doing your job is something that seems to like work for you at Temple, worked for you in XFL. In terms of the NFL, how did that kind of contribute to your NFL success as well? Just doing your job.
Yeah. So early in my career, my first 2 years, I just felt like I wasn't. Maybe my first year when I first got into the NFL, I just felt like I wasn't ready. I didn't approach the game the way I should have. You know what I'm saying? I was still young. I was still not really knowing what it took to be successful in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? And you still really don't know until you go through it. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of guys say the best way to learn is by getting that experience. You know what I'm saying? So when you go out there and you get that experience, you finally learn, like, I should never made that mistake. You can't say that if somebody else making a mistake and you're not doing it. It's easy for them to say, don't do that if they do it. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta go out there and I gotta fuck that up myself for me to see that I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of people don't realize. Like, it's okay to just, it's hard to sit there and be like, don't do that because it's not gonna work. Let me see if it's not gonna work first. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to go out there and test the waters, because now if I make it work, now it's just like, how does that not work? Like, a lot of guys see Patrick Mahomes do a lot of crazy shit on the football field. If somebody told him those things ain't gonna work and he didn't do it, how would he know that the throws that he make half the time ain't gonna work?
Wait, can we do a little timeout right there? When you were playing in the XFL, I don't know what the team was called, I apologize, but there was a one play you did to win the one game where you did a sidearm throw, and like they kept comparing that to the Patrick Mahomes play. Like, how big of that, like when you heard that, like this was a Patrick Mahomes throw, how big of that was a boost to your confidence, or like knowing that, like, oh yeah, I definitely should be in the league. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was crazy to hear it, but like as a player, it's like, man, I've been doing this shit since college, bro. I've been doing this weekend. This is something that's just not gonna just naturally happen over time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that you work on throughout your career, and it's something that you just add to your game. And I was adding that to my game as I got to Indy. While I'm on practice squad, I'm just trying shit now. Like, you feel me? So I was just trying shit, just trying to do different things and trying to do different throwing angles, all type of things that I knew I wouldn't try in the game. But then when I got the opportunity to try it in the game, it had to get tried. Like, I had to do those things. I had to find ways to find lanes to throw in. And for me to see that happen in the game, it was like, I could do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just a light click that I can do it. It's like, man, I can do this now. Like, I have no issues with throwing these sidearm passes in football games. So now I'm gonna continue to do it, but I continue to work on them as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that a lot of guys not gonna try to do over and over again. But when you actually do it, you're gonna sit there and say, look, I can do it, and I'm gonna continue to do it because it works for me. A lot of guys get the confidence now, though. Once you get the confidence, I feel like you can do whatever that you really put your mind to at that point.
Got you. Got two final questions before we transition to the next part. So one being, gaining the confidence to do what you were doing in the XFL to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one would be in terms of quieting the noise. But the first one would be so obviously you did your research, you did your homework, and you watched the film.
Yeah.
And you saw different things that worked for other players and you tried it yourself, and then it worked. What gave you the confidence to do that, whatever you did in the XFL and NFL, to get your first NFL starting win?
Man, I always felt like if I go out there and get an opportunity, I'm gonna just take full advantage of it and just go out there and play my game. You know what I'm saying? And I always knew I could go play in the league, you know what I'm saying? But it's more so when you get the opportunity, you got to take advantage of it. And that's the key to it right there. Getting the opportunity, take advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have really an idea that I was going to be the starter. Like, Teddy was still questionable to play that game, you know what I'm saying? So pregame is like, I'm going in there with the mindset, but like, I've always been told since like I was a freshman in college, be prepared to go in there and play whenever you get an opportunity. Like, be prepared as the starter from week in and week out. You never know what can happen. And you never really want to be unprepared. So, like, anything can happen, bro. Anything can happen. You never want to be unprepared. Never. And for me to go in that game, I'm just like, I'm well prepared. I prepared mentally for the week. I got some reps with the ones at the time. I was still just getting the flow of the game, though. So I was just getting the flow of it, and I was just starting to realize, like, man, I'm gonna go. If I get my number get called, I'm gonna just go ahead and play. Like, it's nothing really. It's not a big deal. And I felt like it was the XFL at that point once I got back on the field, bro. Like, to be honest, like, for me to go back and not play in 3 years from college to them 2 years in Indy, plus that little preseason I had that third year in Indy. For me to not play a full football game and went to the XFL in January and June, and when it season started in February, for me to be sitting around for 7 months and go out there and play like I played, it was like football. Then I didn't miss a beat. You know what I'm saying? So like, I was still, because I was in the house, bro. Like, I'm in here with Ashley. We watching football games every Sunday. That's it. Nothing else. This is all football. So like, I'm sitting in the crib, but I'm also studying. Like, I'm not just studying the defense. I'm studying each quarterback week in and week out, what they doing. Yeah. Like, seeing how they succeed, seeing what they do, seeing the different things that they do. And when I was like, man, I'm not gonna let the opportunity slip again. Like, and these my boys out here playing on Sundays. Like, I'm watching Sharif and them play on Sundays. I'm watching Kobe play. I'm watching everybody that I'm cool with really go out there and play. I'm watching Tyler in them games. So I'm just tuned into everybody. I'm like, man, I got to get back on the football field, bro. I got to get back to the league. That's where I belong. I know I belong there. And for me, it was just like, all right, when I get that chance, I'm going to take advantage of it. And that's what my mind was going into that week. It's like, bro, you've been waiting for this. Like, last year, you was home on the couch while this was going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you ain't going back there. You about to go out here. You about to play your best football. You about to go out here and dominate the game. And that's the way I approached it. I was like, man, I'm going to just go out here and be me, play the game, and be efficient throughout this game.
Bro, dude, everything you just said is so profound. Like, I don't care if you play football, if you're in corporate America, if you're a doctor, if you're a librarian, like what you just said, like, just go out there, be you, but not just be you, but prepare. So when that moment comes, you're good to go. And I just thank you for being vulnerable enough and like trusting enough of me to share that. Because so many people are going to understand that and be able to be impacted by that. But in terms of you're in the moment, so whether you were in college, XFL, NFL, in a relationship, what helps you quiet that noise? The noise of, am I enough? The noise, am I prepared for this moment? And when my number's called, that I'm going to be able to like do my job, because those are all things that were brought up throughout this entire conversation. What helps you quiet that noise?
The work you put in during that process to lead up to that point. I think, like, I know when I get into a football game that all this work that I put in all off season is going to benefit for this football game. All the running that I did throughout this off season is going to benefit for this football game. So if you don't put no money into the bank in the off season, You ain't got no money to take out when it's time to go play. You feel me? Like, you ain't got no money to go really be like, I stacked up all them days, and now that I stacked up all them days, now it's time to go cash out on Sundays. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's time to go cash out. This is the time you go cash out. You go up against people now. This is when you get to go cash out, and that's how I look at it. Like, I work out 6-7 days out the week, bro. You know?
Yeah.
Just because I know money got to get put into the bank, whether it's something small I got to do on the weekends that's good for my body, or whether it's me going out there throwing 3-4 times a week, you know what I'm saying, or in a weight room. So all those different things is putting money into the bank, I feel like. And when you putting money in, on game day, it's money that's going to come out, because now it's time to go play. And the work that you put in will show on Sundays, you know what I'm saying? The work that you put in leading into a meeting or something like that is going to show. So that's how I look at it. So all the work that you put in going into it is the money that you're going to get when you get there.
Bro, listen, this part of the interview, the conversation, whatever you want to call it, has been so influential to me, because I'm in a certain part of my journey where, like, if some of it was confirmation and some of it was like, damn, I need to hear that. That's going to help me get over this hump. But thank you for being vulnerable enough to share that. And I'm sure that everyone, especially your following and the people that are meant to hear this, are going to benefit from. But now we're going to transition to the second part of this. And a lot of this is, I guess you can call it an after party. We want to get to know PJ, the person. We want to get to know PJ outside of when he's playing football, relationship, like what is truly what goes through his mind. So, as you know me, I am a sneakerhead or a shoe head. I have a lot of shoes.
Both of us.
Yeah,
both of us.
Hey,
I used to be seeing you go to the classes and everything, and all type of J's. Hey, Miles, when you got those? That's what I just needed to know. When did you get those? That's what I want to know. When did you get those? Because I ain't got them yet. When did they come out? Because I didn't get them. I wanted to know all that. I wanted to know, bro. And that was every week, though. That was every week, bro. I was like,
bro, I say this in the most humble way ever. Right now, this is not including dress shoes, but in terms of sneakers, I got over probably 6K of sneakers.
That's ridiculous, bro.
Nah, it's influential because it's influential because for me, I remember when I played in my sister's sneakers, because like my mom had got ran over by a truck in the military. And we were just flat, broke. And I remember the day I scored 50 points in my sister's sneakers. I said, yo, from this day forward, I'm never going to be in this place again. So like, sports became a big thing because I was like able to feed my family off of it. I was able to like dress myself off of it. Like, so when I see that like college athletes can get paid up their likeness, it's like warms my heart, because I remember being in a place where I had nothing. But long story short, like to going from a place where you have to like play basketball in your sister sneakers to now like you have like you just go into a room like I'm not wearing the same sneaker ever again. Like that's like a blessing in me. But long story right there. But long story
that
short,
definitely is.
But long story short though, and I'm gonna get back to the point for you, PJ. If you had to rank the top 5 sneakers you currently own, what would you say are like, or not even currently own, what are your top 5 like favorite sneakers ever?
I'm gonna go with the ones I currently own. I'm gonna go with the brand 4s, my number 1 shoe.
Okay.
The brand 4 is my favorite. I feel like I can always put those on, bro, like, and do so many different things with it, no matter what. I gotta actually get another pair. I got the Carolina 3s. I think it probably might be like 3.
Okay.
The Carolina 3s. I got a couple pair of ones that I'm big on right now. The Bread Toe ones is my favorite ones.
Okay.
Just because they're some OGs. They just the classics.
I gotta stop right there in terms of ones. So if you haven't noticed yet, the ones are the theme of road to recovery, the orange and white ones. So like know that when you think of road to recovery, think of the orange and white ones. But I digress. Go back.
Got you. What else we got right now? I've been heavy on the ones, bro. And I got the black and gray ones right now.
Okay.
What is those? Which ones is those? I can't think of the name of them.
I don't know what they call, but
What
I know
are
what you're
those?
talking about because I just played. Like, damn, so don't hate me.
They're black.
I just played in them.
Don't tell me you balled in them.
I balled in them.
Bro, no way, bro. In the ones though, in the black and gray ones, you
Bro,
hooped in the
balled
black
in
and
them.
gray
Scored 34 in the first half, but hey, who's counting?
ones. For sure. Hey, who's counting? I would say number 5 would be my Concords, maybe.
Oh yeah,
Concords right now.
Oh, definitely.
That just got to be in my top 5 of collection. I got 2 pair of them. I got a pair I work out in. I got a pair that I wear.
It's got to be there.
Like,
It's got to be there.
Those is just mandatory. I have to have. When I mess the ones I work out in, I'm gonna have to get another pair because I like those too much to not have them.
Wait.
Like them shits is everything.
Wait, I'm gonna pause right there. So I spoke about your favorite like fashion shoes, but I forgot. Football is different. So like y'all be having like some crazy cleats. What was your favorite pair of like exclusive, or I'll say top 3 because you may have had 3 yet. Because like you've been in this league now, this is year 5, right?
Yeah, it's year 5.
And I know you guys have like I forgot what it's called, but it's like a certain thing you guys do in terms of having a certain like initiative or meaning behind the cleats you wear. So what would be your top 3 cleats, including, I know for a fact at Temple for the championship game, you had the exclusive. Like
those is tough. Those are one right there. Them ones I wore at Temple was number 1. They had the E on them. They had the I on them. They had the American flag. They was fucking crazy, bro. Those was the best cleats I might have wore in my career right there. And I don't think you ever noticed, bro. Every week in college, I wore a new pair of cleats. They was the same cleats, but I wore a new pair every week, like so all white with the black stitching in them.
If I was somebody else, I wouldn't have noticed. But I'm
yeah,
I noticed.
The box is literally right there, but I'm pulling them out the box on game day, breaking them in.
That's the crazy part. I don't know if you remember, our locker was either always next to each other or across from each other. Yeah,
or right across.
Like, so just, I noticed.
So like every week, bro, I'm like, let me put them on real quick. I'll try them on like Friday at the facility. I'm good. I know I can wear these tomorrow. I'm good. Put those on. I'm straight. Let's go. Let's get ready to ball, bro. And that was the thing with me. I'm like, man, I had to wear all white cleats, and so that finally stuck with me after junior year. So now when I get to the league, I still wear Under Armour cleats, bro. So like I still wear the Under Armour. The Spotlights? I still wear the Spotlights, bro.
Okay.
Because they're the most comfortable for me.
They're
comfortable. Like, I just got the league supposedly banned Under Armour from. They didn't ban Under Armour, and Under Armour stopped their contract with the NFL.
Oh.
So now we can't wear Under Armour. So I just got my cleats shipped off for the season. I got about 6 pairs sent off for the season. I'm getting them colored. I'm getting them painted all white with the little Carolina blue on them a little bit. So now they're gonna be. You won't see an Under Armour sign on them basically. You just gonna see an all white shoe or
the Under Armour.
With a mix of little. Yeah, the Under Armour. So ain't nobody gonna really know besides me. You know what I'm saying? So that was my thing. Like I'm big on the Under Armour, big on the all white. But my favorite pair ever that I've ever worn, bro, was the Mike Vicks. I wish to this day I could still play in the Mike Vick right now. Vicks was the best cleats ever.
So I can lie to you, Mike Vick is the reason why I even got a scholarship to college. Like I was playing DN and whatever I was playing in Mike Vicks. So like, yo, I get it. I definitely get it.
Those were the best cleats ever, bro. Like by far. As a quarterback, especially as a kid, you like, man, I want the Vicks. I don't want nothing else. I want the Mike Vicks, bro. Just give me the Vicks and I'll be good. I could wear those one pair of Vicks every week, every day in practice, the game.
Wait, I don't know if you remember you could change the color of the check, the Nike check?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You can change the color, bro. So that was the toughest part of the cleat right there in general. You could change the color of the joint. Then you had the ones where you just had the red stripe in the middle. I just seen Cedar with them on. He be wearing the Vic sneakers, and he had the sneakers ones on. And he just wear the little red stripe, bro. So last year, I gotta get them for this shit. I was on StockX looking for some shoes for walkthrough.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for some walkthrough. I see some fix. I'm like, oh, I gotta get them.
Yeah.
And they had them. They was like all white with the powder blue. I was like, bro, I gotta get them.
I need those.
They ain't even have my size. I'm gonna check back up again. Check back up on them today when we get off this call. I gotta find them because I need them for the season, bro. I have to have them. Like those mandatory right there.
So speaking of that, so the season's coming. Like camp starts on the 26th or the 28th.
Tuesday, the 27th.
27th. Okay, bet. In terms of the 27th, in terms of camp, what's your mindset going into this year?
Be the best me I could be, bro. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about yesterday. Honestly, and that's what I feel like I've been doing in my career is just worried about down the line shit or shit that happened in the past. Like all I could do for real is focus on the opportunity that I have at that moment and the opportunity that I have that day. You know, I feel like this might be my best camp going forward. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
This might be my best camp in my career right here. And I'm just going to stand on that because I know I've trained my ass off over the past couple of weeks and did things that I needed to work on from OTAs because I know if I work on those things, I could get myself rolling. I can put myself in a good position as well. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just take advantage of what's in front of me and not do too much, not get too high, not get too low in the moment. And just go out there and play the game, bro. Like we've been playing this our whole life, so it's nothing really to get too big on or get too low about because when you start to have your emotions involved in it, that's when things start to rattle for you. You know what I'm saying? Things start to shake. And when you wear your emotions on your sleeve, like most guys do that play ball, you start to see those mistakes and they start to accumulate to a bunch of mistakes that you shouldn't have had because now you're just out there playing with your emotions on your sleeve. And I don't really want to let that be the fact of me making the decision on the football field either. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny you just said that because so the project is road recovery, but I know that I'm personally someone who wears their emotions on their sleeve. So like if you look on my sleeves on the right side, I have like a bunch of positive affirmations. On the left side, I have a bunch of like negative things that probably I wear on my sleeve. Yeah. So like depression, doubt, fear, failure. On this side though, it's like hope, success, belief. It's a bunch of things. And like understanding that like knowing that I wear my heart on my sleeve, I turned it into a superpower. But I'm glad you brought that up though, because it's something that people need to understand that like just because you do doesn't make you weak. It just means that knowing that about yourself means that you need to work that much harder at getting over that hump. So I'm so glad you brought that up. Yeah.
It's tough, bro. It's tough to ignore it because when you want to be great at something, bro, when you really want to be really good at something, you don't really think about the actions that you're doing at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't think about if somebody make a bad mistake or not just say if you make a bad mistake. You don't think about going off on yourself like that, but it happens in that moment and now you thrown off a little bit because you carrying that same bullshit that happened in the last play over to the next play and you forgetting your job or you forgetting a mistake that happened. So for you to just stay level-headed and just breeze through it, bro. Don't even think about the past, bro. I've been reading this book, The Obstacle is the Way, that Coach Ruben he gave to the quarterback. He gave it to a lot of guys, but it's a way to not let obstacles, you know what I'm saying, be a factor in your life. Like you're gonna have obstacles, but the way you approach them is the way that you're gonna handle them. If you can handle your obstacles, then if you just pretend that they're not there, they won't be there. Like there's ways to get around them. Bro. And that's what we got to understand as like athletes, as people. We have to realize that it's ways to get around obstacles, bro. And it's not always about, I have to go over it. Like, I have to do this to do that. I have to just do what you've been doing, but do it at a 10 times harder, you know what I'm saying, pace, or do it, just go harder. And if that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
Listen, in the words of PJ Walker, just live your life, do your job, and whatever is going to happen is going to happen. At the end of the day, you can live with that result.
That's it. Like, Steve Jobs didn't get to be Steve Jobs because he worried about everybody else doing shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, He pushed guys, you know what I'm saying? He pushed the people around him to get shit done. You know what I'm saying? So
Bro.
if you can push yourself to get shit done, you can get it done. Believe in that.
Exactly. So last question I'm going to ask in terms of this segment is music-wise, because after knowing you from Temple, I kind of knew exactly not exactly, but I know the kind of music you listen to in terms of locker room music, what you wanted to hear before. But I'm going to put it to in terms of the top 5 songs right now. If you're going into a game, what's your top 5 game day playlist?
My game day playlist, I'm putting on a whole Drake album, any Drake album right now. Like, I could play a whole Drake playlist right now just because of people be thinking that I'm just listening to Drake and listening. Like, Drake music isn't real hype, you know what I'm saying? So when it's a vibe. Like, I'm really just vibing when I'm like pregame on a football field. That's what I'm listening to. I'm listening to Drake most of the time because it's more so I'm trying to stay cool, calm, and collected throughout the process of leading up to the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's one right there.
Right.
And then I get into my locker. I'm walking in, like, say if we're going into the stadium and things like that, I gotta turn on Future March Madness. I gotta turn up real quick just because I'm just walking into the place. You feel me? That's number one right there. And I would say like pregame, when I'm back in the locker room and I'm really getting ready to step foot on the football field after we did pregame and everything, I'm putting on Lucci documentary because you can just hear the pain and hear all the problems and hear all the struggle that went on in that song. And for me, it's just like, bro, you got your own process, you got your own way, and like this is really similar to what you go through. Like, everybody go through shit day in and day out, but this is something that you really had to go through. This is something that could really relate to you as a player and as a person. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's just like when I hear a documentary about Luffy, that's what I'm really locked into. I'm really locked into the game, bro. And it's really time to go step foot on the football field for me.
Got you. So we got through the whole portion of the PJ Walker interview, and I mean, it's phenomenal. Like, and me personally, I took a lot of internal notes and things that I highlighted. I mean, I want to use for my personal life and personal decisions, because you had success with using those things. So I thank you for sharing it. I thank you for being vulnerable. I thank you for being in the moment and just being your true, authentic self. So the last thing is, I think it's important because a lot of people don't actually use this platform to do so. Because I want to make sure that I give you opportunity to actually make sure you ask any questions you want to ask me.
Yeah, nah, seriously. Like, for me, it's more so, what is it that drive you every day, bro, to like get up and really go do your job? You know what I'm saying? For a lot of guys that's not really mentally there, like, I know a lot of people that's okay with being average, you know what I'm saying? And I know somebody like you ain't willing to be average, bro. So like, what gives you that drive every day to go be great and be you as a person?
I think the biggest thing for me personally is the fact that I know that in terms of life, this thing that we call life, we're not all giving the same opportunities. We're not all giving the same abilities. We're not given the opportunity to go out every day and be great, because no one actually told all of us that we were great at something. I was given the opportunity to be able to enjoy life because I was given people that truly and authentically loved me. And not just like said they loved me, but I felt it. I felt it in terms of, at my darkest days, I had people that when I felt that I wasn't even deserving of it, people loved me. Whether it was my mother, whether it was people that God was like potentially gave me in my life to like show me and tell me and make me feel. That's the biggest thing too. Making you feel that like you have value, you are loved. And I'm thinking about to the fact that when you said your fiance, like I was given the opportunity and given the people in my life to make me feel I was loved. And have I been perfect? No. But I was given the people in my life to make me feel loved, make me feel like, listen, if you do this, and you do that, like you can get back on the right track. That's the biggest reason I went from 360 to 285. That's the reason why I was able to like be able to do an album like Truth. That's the reason why I was able to do something like Road to Recovery, because I knew for a fact that if you think about fiance, if you think about partners you're given in life, I was given somebody that like made me feel loved and made me feel valued to the point where it's just like, damn, if I just like start investing in myself and start loving myself, not only will I make this person happy, but I can like live a life of like of value. I can live a life of like, damn, like I can impact others because of the fact that I guess I'll just circle back to this point. Someone made me feel that I could change the world. And when somebody makes you feel like that, like not only do you benefit the world, but you feel like you the shit.
You get up every day. Now you want to get up every day and go prove yourself that you can do that shit.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, listen, I didn't know love until I know this person.
Yeah.
Like now that I know that, I'm able to go now and I'm able to wake up in the morning at 4:30 in the morning and I don't give a fuck what's in front of me. I'm knocking that shit over and I'm attacking it. And like that may sound crazy, but
it don't, because you know, coming from our circumstances, but we used to have to wake up for mat drills every day in the wintertime, you feel me? And for us to get up, and we used to be like, fuck, do we really gotta go through this shit right now? You feel me? Like, it's fucking 5 o'clock in the morning, bro. Walking on Broad to go to the indoor.
Bro, it was snowing outside.
Freezing.
It was snowing outside. We were walking. So you were walking. I'm thinking about the time of freshman year when we were like the suckiest. I was walking from Morgan, but you were walking from Tower. I'm walking from Morgan South, and we have to pass Morgan North. So when it was a snow day, when you were in college, people pretty much partied the entire night. So they're either in the entire concourse or they're in the window. They're like, go the fuck home. Why are you outside? You know what I mean?
5 o'clock in the morning, bro.
Like, bro, because they just came home. But we're going to a mat drill. But long story short, I knew I had a greater purpose. It was beyond the mat drill. It was beyond whatever pain I felt, whatever discomfort I felt. I knew that that was in 2013. I knew that in 2021 that there were going to be people who wanted jobs. There were people who wanted opportunities. There were people that were going to depend on me to make sure they had a brighter day or a brighter future.
Right.
Not that exact moment, but I'm saying like I knew that it was bigger than me. And I think that's what football, that's what basketball, that's what sports, that's what family, that's what relationships taught me, that it's not about you. Like
it's bigger purposes in life.
Bigger purpose in life. So like you got to do what you got to do right now. So when the moment comes and it actually depends on you, you're prepared to say like, I'm able to help you right now because of the sacrifices I made. And when you think about it that way, man,
that's a fact.
You can just smile, you can enjoy life. You can, as currently as you're doing, you can sit on your balcony, you can sit on your deck and say, yo, I did what I was supposed to do. And I hope that answers your question. Right there. I hope that
definitely did. That definitely did. That definitely did, bro, for sure. Because a lot of guys don't take that for granted, of being able to get up every day and to go do something. Like, a lot of guys think it's okay to just sit around and not do nothing or wait for the next person to take care of them. Like, there's way more people out here like that's really grinding to do exceptional things, but like we all have family to take care of at some point, bro. So like we got to make sure we prepare for that. Like it's not no time for nobody to be chilling. It's not time for people to be doing this. I be telling people all the time, but I don't party no more because I've did all my partying in college. Like I'm cool. Like I partied a lot, bro.
The real shit,
I'm fine. Like
we party together. I'm ready to
move. You feel me? I'm ready to move on in life and just continue to be me, bro. Like I'm ready to do things that I haven't been a part of already. Like that's the step. That's the next step I'm trying to take. We can always go back to party. Like I can always do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
But I can do that down the line. Like when I'm really done playing ball. Like I want to take advantage of every opportunity that I have now. Like that's where my mind is right now. Like I've been home already. Was home for 7 months watching dudes play. You feel me? And
that shit was
for me
fun.
To see that it wasn't like I can't do nothing now. Like I'm just sitting around here watching people play. Like
Reminiscing.
Be out there playing too. You feel me? That's it. That's what you could do. But then it's like you get another opportunity. It's like, nah, I'm not gonna let that go. I'm not gonna let that one pass. I'm not gonna let that one slip no more. Because now it's like I'm gonna take full advantage of this while I'm here now. I gotta take full advantage of it now. Now. Like this is the opportunity I have now.
Exactly. But listen, I'll be remiss if I didn't do this right now. But congratulations, Tootie. I'm super excited for you graduating your MBA program. I knew everything you had to endure during the time where you had to do it, but like you're phenomenal in terms of everything you're doing. Got an MBA, working full time. I know the whole backstory, but I'm super proud of you. Super glad, and just know that I love you,
bro.
But listen,
appreciate it, bro. Love you too, fam.
In terms of the Road to Recovery project, just know that we just had a great conversation with PJ Walker from the Carolina Panthers, from Temple University, XFL superstar, phenom. But at the end of the day, this is Road to Recovery. My name is Maj, aka Big Maj, aka Oxcore Bully, aka Big Sexy with the glasses. And Road to Recovery coming soon, October 1st, October 1st, whatever you want to call it. Just know that we coming correct and ain't shit better than it. Be blessed.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Why must I feel so alone? Ever been going through and feel like nobody there for you? Randomly shed a tear or two, talking but nobody hearing you. The ice on my neck done turn my heart blue. You there for everybody, but who's there for you? Publicly supporting others, but they never do anything remotely close in return for you. We all on the same path, just got different shoes. Living in the same building, but got different views. Now you all know your feelings kinda bitter too. Starting to feel like everybody just using you. Got the money on deck, the bitches on deck, the section on deck, got the vibes on deck. But when you going through, wondering where them niggas at, sending SOSs, but nobody hitting back until the money on deck, the bitches on deck, the section on deck, got the vibes on deck. When you done and broke, all them niggas gon' laugh. That's why I know that love at the top is all cash. Got insomnia, I'm a night out. Should I go to sleep or spend the night out? All these dark conversations now it's bright out. Demons on me all night, but hiding when it's light out. Got insomnia, I'm a night out. Should I go to sleep or should I ride out? Hit the club when it's dark, but now it's bright out. Gold diggers and leeches trying to come to my house. Got the money on deck, the bitches on deck, the section on deck, got the vibes on deck. But when you going through, wondering where them niggas at, sending SOSs, but nobody hitting back until the money on deck, the bitches on deck, the section on deck, got the vibes on deck. When you done and broke, all them niggas gon' laugh. That's why I know that love at the top is all caps. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why must I feel so alone? Ever been going through and feel like nobody there for you? Randomly shed a tear or two, talking but nobody hearing you. The ice on my neck done turn my heart blue. You there for everybody, but who's there for you? Publicly supporting others, but they never do anything remotely close in return for you. We all on the same path, just got different shoes. Living in the same building, but got different views. Now you all know your feelings kinda bitter too. Starting to feel like everybody just using you. Got the money on deck, the bitches on deck, the section on deck, got the vibes on deck. But when you going through, wondering where them niggas at, sending SOSs, but nobody hitting back until the money on deck, the bitches on deck, the section on deck, got the vibes on deck. When you done and broke, all them niggas gon' laugh. That's why I know that love at the top is all cash. Got insomnia. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why must I feel so alone? Ever been going through and feel like nobody there for you? Randomly shed a tear or two, talking but nobody hearing. Got the money on deck, the bitches on deck, the section on deck, got the vibes on deck. But when you going through, wondering where them niggas at, sending SOSs, but nobody hitting back until the money on deck, the bitches on deck, the section on deck, got the vibes on deck. When you done and broke, all them niggas gon' laugh.